Hi and welcome back. Just outside Carmona, Sevilla today. A bit of a treat, very well-priced property with a decent amount of land. It's been divided into two parts. This is sort of the grass area and the pool, which of course you have to use your imagination. It's March, so obviously the pool isn't being used right now, but it's actually very well divided because you've got this space here, and I'll show you in a little while on the other side of the house as well. But you know, this, you sort of walk through a gate and you're into the agricultural part of the property. Bees just a-buzzing everywhere. Been stung a couple of times so far this year. Ooh, that's never fun. Here are the trimmings of the olive trees, which are going to the fireplace, which I'll show you once we're inside the house. You've got lots of olive here, lots of orange, fig, grape, all kinds of assorted fruit trees. Extremely fertile land. This sort of goes at the back of the property here. I'll just show this to you quickly. Get away from all these bees, and that takes you back. That little path there takes you back to the sort of civilized part of the villa. But as you can see, you know, just good dark soil. Walking through some olive here. That's an orange tree there straight ahead. It's actually only orange trees, but certainly a lemon tree would be easy enough to plant. This is fig again here. Now we're about 20 kilometers from Sevilla's airport, so if overhead planes are something that you're not really including in your retirement plan, that's about as noisy as it's going to get. Always good to know the sights and the sounds of a property before you view it. But it's not such a busy airport. But you'll have planes on a regular basis flying overhead, but you know, they fly fairly high up, so it's not sort of like being close to Malaga, where they seem to be about 500-600 meters over your head. And again, there you go, another big fig, olives, and that takes you right down into the corner of the property, and you can see through the bush there. Let me just give you a close-up. There's your near neighbor. You can just see the color of this soil. It's just extremely fertile. This, I think, is some sort of fruit tree. I'm not 100% sure until they sort of change color. I think it's a caqui, I think it's called in Spanish. And, you know, it's all sort of blocked up, done on different levels here. Fully irrigated as well, which is great. You just need to sort of turn on the spigot and off you go. Oop, something there. And again, there's your near neighbor, and that's their pool there. So, you know, you're sort of at a good distance away from it. Good space between the properties here, and a good tall tree there. So if you're into gardening and olives, you've got, I don't know how many, but I'm going to guess probably in the region of about 40 olive trees. So if you don't like olive, now's a good time, I would think, to acquire a taste. And here you've got some of your grapevine just starting to grow and trim back for the winter. It's just starting to come in now. You can see it here along this line. There's quite a few of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, but 15. Those are going to be green grapes. There are your oranges again. Some of these babies are starting to grow already. There's one right there. You see that? Little baby orange. So fresh orange juice for life, certainly. You know, one tree will generate just kilos and kilos a year. So you've got quite a few of them. Look at these little whoppers. Let's take a closer look. Hopefully I don't get bitten. This is what happened to me last time. Ooh, baby. Those are good and mature. I guess those are sort of in the 25 to 30-year-old range. And then, you know, going back up there, you're back to the house and the pool area. So again, nicely divided. And there's the front of the property with an iron gate or iron fencing, solid brick construction as well. And you know, this urbanization that we're on, and I use that term urbanization really loosely because of course it's not, you know, communal pools and gardens and, you know, rec center or anything. It's just a grouping of houses. A, it's secure. You need a code to get in. And there's only 40 villas here, and 40 basically summer villas. I think there are a few people that live here year-round, but the majority of people here, you know, just use these places in the summer. Nice warm weekends and so forth. So again, this is all just sort of the garden, and you can see there at the back of the property, let me just get a close-up. That's sort of the top of the hedge there. So it's got a good tall hedge, and on the other side you've got nothing but farmers' fields, no houses behind, nothing can be built there. And you know, for winter, I'd have to say it's pretty impressive. But you can imagine, you know, in the height of summer here, this grass would just be brilliant green. Got some more citrus fruit growing here as well. There's a little sneak preview of the house. Decent size, not huge, but you know, certainly comfortable. You know, if it's just the two of you. And then again, here's your pool. Decent size, not huge, not small, just right. And you've got water points for watering the grounds all over the property, as we can see. Let's take a little walk around. More olives here to the side of the pool. And then you've got a nice little hedge here that divides sort of the little, what'd you call it, small holding from the rest. Some pine there. Evergreen. I don't know what this is, but as you can see, it's just starting to flower. And of course, a lot of these trees, almost wiped out there. A lot of these trees, and of course, you've got some grape, I believe, there. And once that starts flowering and coming in, that creates some nice shade on the house as well. Got all this up here on the awning. Let's go over to the other side now. This looks back to the front gate. Nice long driveway. House nicely set back from the front gate for gawkers. And again, as I said, you know, it's just fully irrigated everywhere you look. You've got water points. Just lovely. Really very impressed with the property. So green, so well looked after. And again, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to give you an idea, but you know, past the hedge here, it just goes into vast tracts of farmers' fields, so extremely private. And as you've heard so far through the video, it's just birds and bees. You get the occasional barking dog, but once, you know, they sort of calm down, it just goes back to peace. Got a good tall hedge here between you and your neighbor. Get a close up there of his house. You can see his roof there. There's your well. Free water for life. Fill up your pool. Water your grounds. Now this is just a gorgeous olive tree here. That's a senior citizen if there ever was one. Just so nice to walk on the spongy Spanish grass. And again, this is just sort of the for show part of the property. Another big orange tree here. Doesn't look like anything's happening. They all kind of, you can see there's just some new leaves coming in there. And then beside it, another one as well. Once those start flowering, and you can see these little white things there, those are the flowers. And once those start opening up, this whole area is just perfumed with azar, it's called, you know, the flower off these oranges. And you can, you know, see there's just millions of them. Not all of them turn into oranges, obviously, but, you know, just the amount of flowers and the fragrant air is sometimes overpowering, lemon and orange. And again, just full of trees. Now, if you're looking at these trees and going, oh my God, how am I going to work on all these trees and pick all those oranges and do the olives and so on and so forth? Well, that's a very good point, especially if you're here to relax and you've worked hard all your life. But keep in mind that manual laborers in this neck of the woods, you'll probably work for between 8 and 10 euros an hour, and that would include cutting your grass and pruning your trees, getting your pool ready, keeping it clean, and you know, in a lot of cases you can contract somebody out for 50, 60 euros a month, and you really don't have to do anything with it other than just enjoy what they do. And of course, with the amount of olives, oranges, figs that you'll have, you can also co-op that. Get somebody here that will take down your olives and maintain your trees, and probably do a split with you and give you either money or more olive oil than you know what to do with. Take it back to your friends at home. So again, the property is nicely divided. I would say probably about 1,000, 1,200 square meters of this area here, and another 1,000 to 1,200 square meters on the small holding side. So nicely divided with the house in the center. Let's take a look inside. Let's take a look inside. Decent size. It's certainly needs some upgrading, but decent lounge. Quite a bit of furniture in here. Got a great fireplace as well. Open fire. I'll show that a better angle. Now, this wall here actually leads to the garage, which they're using as storage. So it's sort of pre-roughed in to come in if you wanted to for another bedroom or any other space, any other idea for that space, and you can actually connect in directly to the villa, and you can see there the wood fire, burn eucalyptus olive up here, and that'll certainly keep you warm. As you can see, the windows are original, so they could certainly do with some upgrading, double glazed, mosquito nets, etc., etc. But the villa is so well priced that you could completely reform this and still be a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a property that is up to date and modernized and so forth. Even these old sort of Campo doors, kind of kitschy, a little retro, but that could certainly be improved as well. The kitchen, well, it's pretty small, I have to say. If you're looking for the gourmet kitchen with island and so forth, this may be a little bit disappointing, but remember, these are summer properties, and for their purpose, they serve very, very well. The kitchen obviously is pretty antique. I'd say it's by its sort of chrome look, sort of retro, vintage 1980s. Even the hot water heater here is probably original as well with the house. The tiles are kind of funky, and just basically a cheap and usable kitchen, double sink. But by the same token, it's a decent amount of space for a sort of compact kitchen. Now I'm just going to nip outside quickly and just give you a back view here as well. This space here was originally designed as a garage, and as you can see, it's just storage, weed whackers and rototiller, and I suspect that everything would be left here because these owners live in a big city close by, so they obviously don't need a rototiller, so all machinery would be included for sure in the property. Now if we go back into that corner, that's the part there. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer for you. Sort of against that wall there is what I was mentioning inside. So if you knock through, you come right into the villa, and there's actually behind here, you can see the frame of the window there, so you could bring in light. So this could really be anything you want you know, get a full-size Riley in here certainly, and it's a solid construction. As you can see, it's not a typical tin roof, it's cement block, so it's sturdy, it's solid, all brick construction as well. You can see back there, hasn't been rendered, but you know, it's a brick construction. So you know, this gives you probably, I'm going to guess, you know, sort of about 10 to 12 square meters of extra space. And here we are outside again. Such a peaceful day. Right. So let's continue. Not granite, not marble, imitation. Looks good, but not the real deal. And then you've got, which I like here, you've sort of got two bedrooms which are a little bit more private. You got two single beds in here. This is a decent size. There's absolutely no water stain marks at all. Very, very sound construction. The owner built it himself, but obviously did a very, very good job. And this is what I always look for in the sort of just after rainy season, which we're just finishing up now, for those telltale signs of any water coming in, and there's nothing. But you know, you've got like a big double wardrobe here that's taking a lot of space, two single beds, but the actual room itself is a good size. And you've got a slightly smaller bedroom in here, just a single. This could very easily, if we sort of take a look at this wall here, let me take a step back and show you. Oh, yeah. So it's not a support wall. So if you wanted to, you could certainly close this bath and bedroom off, and you could, you know, put a dining room in here for an example. A million and one ideas you could have with that. And then, I'm gonna have to move this chair because this door kind of closes on its own. And then you've got another bedroom here, and with the same idea, although this is, yeah, that looks like support, you could very easily make this the dining room if you wanted. And you can see there's a queen size bed in there, you know, so decent size, and again the monster wardrobes as well. And then just looking back to the lounge. Oh, what a great phone. Oops. Okay, so that ends our tour. Again, just outside Carmona, about 10 minutes into Carmona, about 15 minutes into Seville, about 10 minutes to the airport from here. Great property, 2,500 square meters of land. Decent house, not big, not small, just kind of perfect. And as you can see, you know, off in the distance there, we're kind of in an elevated pitch here. And you've got sort of sierras, sort of low-lying mountains around. So, as you can see with this tree here, always a good breeze, which you'll need when it's 110 degrees in the afternoon. Value priced, and will probably sell quickly. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.